Honestly, this is the single best strategy for dealing with stress and anxiety that I've ever come up with as a mental health counselor and a hypnotherapist who deals with complex trauma. And no, I promise there will be no advice about going to take a walk or taking a deep breath, because let's be honest, as much as you see that online and in social media, it doesn't really do the job, does it? Like, I went for a walk, I'm still thinking about the thing that is making me miserable every single day. But these 6 steps have worked time and time again with my clients and honestly, with myself, because homeboy be a little bit stressed. Here are the things. It is called the dissociation stress box. So I want you to imagine a box in front of you, right? And now before you get started with me saying, Jesse, I thought we weren't supposed to put our feelings in a box. There's a difference between compartmentalization and repression. Repression is when we go and, drink certain beverages that help us forget our feelings. And then when that hangover wears off, all those feelings come back. Compartmentalization is saying, hey, I can't deal with this right now. I need to find some strategies to set it aside so I can be okay for today, and I'll deal with that later when the time is appropriate. Because let's be honest, for me, I get that email Friday night at 6 p.m. and then I can't do anything with it over the weekend because everything's closed, but I stress about it all weekend, ruining my weekend, and I can't do anything about it till Monday morning. So this is what I do as a professional. 4 sides to the box, top and bottom, 6 steps. Number 1 is time. I have to choose a time to come back to this situation, right? Can I do anything with that email on Saturday morning when everybody else is closed? No. So it's not the right time. So I have to make a conscious decision about when to come back to this problem and say, Jesse, you are not allowed to worry about this problem because you can't do anything about it. And so by setting a specific time to worry, like Monday morning at 9 a.m., when I can write a response email to that, that helps me remind my brain to let go of it for now and come back to it later. Step 2 is documentation. Documentation means that I take all of that stuff from my brain, put it down on paper, and then close the book. So that way I'm not thinking about it, because this is what your brain does. And I gotta give it credit. It's trying to help you out the best that it can. It will think about all the different aspects of that problem that you're stressed about to try and make sure that you don't forget any important pieces. The problem is it ruins my weekend. Saturday and Sunday are blown because I can't have any fun because my brain is still trying to remember all these pieces so I don't forget it. Instead, take a book out, right? I don't like using my phone because my phone is basically attached to my hand, and so it's a little bit too close, but taking a book out, writing down all the pieces so you don't have to actively think about it, closing the book and setting it down on your work desk or on your nightstand, and reminding yourself, I'm not going to open that book and think about the details until the time that I chose previously. Step number 3, affirmation. We set those things aside with a time and documentation. Now I have to affirm, Jesse, you are safe. You are okay. Everything is going to be fine. You are safe this weekend, because I'll be honest, my trauma responses kick back in when I'm in this situation where I feel helpless to deal with the stress that I'm currently facing. So by affirming that I am okay, it is okay, you are allowed to save this until Monday morning when it's appropriate, helps me remind myself that I'm okay and actually enjoy my weekend. Number 4, redirection. You've got all this stress, all this anxious energy built up, fight or flight response to help you deal with that situation that came up on that Friday evening email. So we have to make an active choice saying, hey, I've got all this energy. I need to place it somewhere. And if you fail to make a choice about where to put that energy, what do you think your brain's gonna do? It's gonna be like, well, we have all this energy. Let's go back to thinking about the problem. No, Jesse, don't do it. Instead, I need to make a conscious choice, have some power back in my life, some control over the situation, and say, I am gonna go for a walk. I am gonna go for a swim. I'm gonna lay out by the pool and have a nice drink. I'm gonna go spend time with my family. I'm gonna play my favorite video game, because I need to put my energy somewhere, because all that adrenaline dumped, and unless you choose what to do with it, it's going to fixate on that stressful topic. Now, we got the 4 walls, right? Time, documentation, affirmation, redirection. I'm making sure I don't forget anything. The bottom of the box is grounding. Stress doesn't only happen in your mind. It happens in your body too. And so I have to take that deep breath. I have to feel my face, right? We do one of those like the meme. Feel my face, touch my fingers, feel my heart beating, maybe wiggle my toes in my shoes, maybe have some romantic time with my partner, right? To help me feel connected to my body again, because stress disassociates us from our body, and we don't want to live out here in space stressing about it. We want to be connected in the present moment. And so that bottom of the box is grounding. And finally, perhaps the most important, the lid of the box is consent, right? Maybe I'm having an argument with my partner, right? And she, on a Saturday morning when I can't deal with it, says, hey, how was work this week, right? Or, hey, did you remember to take the dishes out? And it starts to ignite that stress box again because it's touching on the topic that I boxed up and put away for Monday morning. I'm gonna pause and be like, Jesse, do you consent to opening that box right now? You don't have to open that box unless it's the right time and it feels appropriate to you. And so I'll be like, hey, thank you for the question. I appreciate you looking out for me about my week. It's been very stressful. I'd like to not open that box. I don't consent to opening it. And in the reverse, right? I can be like, well, hey, I'm ready to talk about this issue in our relationship, but I need consent from my partner. Hey, babe, I would love to talk about that, but I'm gonna need you to clear out the next 90 minutes of your schedule, because if I'm gonna open this box, I'm gonna dump the whole box so we can sort it out and organize it together so I can finally be rid of this stress inside of my head. Do you consent to giving me the next 90 minutes so we can work all the way through it? Because I'm not gonna be half in, half out. That's gonna put me in a fight or flight trauma response state. And so by having this consent, the grounding, the time, documentation, affirmation, redirection, it's going to change your life. If you want more tips like this, just tap follow.